So the question is, if our thoughts control our actions, but the divine controls our thoughts, what use is there to control our thoughts? Because we are beyond any control there, because there's something behind us. Yes, Gurbani speaks to us in two different ways. The Guru speaks to you when you think that you're in control of everything. To the person who thinks he's in control of everything, Gurbani speaks to you in that way. And that's where Gurbani says, why don't you control your thoughts? Why is your mind wandering away? Why do you look down on people? So Guru tries to reform at the very basic level the way you think. The way you see yourself, the way you see the world, the Guru tries to do that. But once you go through that process, where you refined yourself so much to the point at which you realize that there is no I, then you will know that there wasn't an I doing the whole step in the first place. Which is why Gurbani also says that you have to do a lot of effort, but then it says all your efforts are useless because it's all happening by grace. So these aren't paradoxical, these aren't opposing to each other. This is simply Gurbani talking at level 1 and then at level 2. So the reality is, if you leave your thoughts as they are, they will just run away with you. They will just do whatever it can to keep this relationship with the self going, with this self-individuality going, this identity going. So the first thing to do is the Guru is saying, well, let me just show you your thoughts. Let me just show you the way you think. Let me show you all the causes of your suffering. Let me show you that you get angry, that you get lustful, that you get greedy, that you create these attachments. Let's just identify that your mind works in a particular way first. That's why Guruji kind of places so much emphasis on those things. But then Guru gives you this much more refined wisdom of saying, now that you understand your thoughts, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about you. Who are you? Where did you come from? And that's when you start looking at the deeper level of, what am I? What is actually here? Where did this body come from? Where did these thoughts come from? Who is behind all of this? And that's where Guru starts introducing this idea of Shabad, of Naad, of this kind of deep, ingrained one vibration that's throughout all of humanity. And he says, that's what's really going on. That's a story that's really being told. Your story is something that we've dealt with now. We've dealt with this idea that you're in control. Now let's look at what's really in control. So Gurbani has to talk to you based on wherever you are, whatever stage you think you're at. So this is not to be confused by. It's not that we have to start worrying, am I in control, am I not in control? There's a really interesting book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And one of the things that I remember from that book, which has always stuck with me, is this circle that he created called the circle of influence. And he says, there's lots of things that you're worried about in the world, but he says, let's just put all of those things into a circle. The first circle is the things that you can actually do something about. The circle of influence. Yeah, I'm worried about these things, and these are things I can control. He said outside of that circle, the next layer is the circle of concern. The things that you're worried about, but you can't actually do anything about right now. And then outside the third layer is the circle of things that have no importance to you. So we only need to focus right now on what is inside our circle of influence. What can we actually control right now? I don't know if there is a God, I don't know if it's in control, but my Guru is telling me, wake up in the morning. I can do that. The Guru is telling me, don't let your mind go in this direction or that direction. I can do that. So the Guru is giving you instructions that helps you. You don't need to worry about whether there's a God or not. Let's just start with stage 1. It's like a child going into a university and saying, I'm barely learning the alphabet, or I'm barely learning my 1, 2, 3, and this person is talking about particle physics. So which is true? Is it my 1, 2, 3 that's true, or is it this that's true? But they're not a question of one or the other. It's a question of, well, first you need to learn to read and write, and then we can start tackling the bigger subjects. So while you're in your mind, do what the Guru tells you. Don't worry about the later stages. When you get to that stage, Guru will tell you you weren't in control to begin with. But because that's not your lived experience, that's not something that you need to worry about right now.